more I dig, the more corruption I find. It's despicable, and it's time we the people do something about it. All right, guys. So before we get right into these articles, really quickly, for those of you who do not know, I was unlawfully arrested by the Nassau County Police Department for working on a story, exercising my First Amendment right of freedom of press. If you're not aware of that situation, I've linked videos in the description below. The actual arrest video, I'm still waiting for the body camera footage, as my camera was seized as evidence. So before we get into the articles here, I want to bring up this video. This is just an article from a news report from last year, just last year. And this is to show you the levels of corruption that are going on here on Long Island, and especially in Nassau County, but in Suffolk County as well. We'll go over everything. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. Make sure you stay till the end. Hit the like button and share this video. Really appreciate it. So let's take a look here.
Sentence today for Ed Mangano, the former Nassau County executive.
He and his wife, who got 15 months behind bars, were found guilty of accepting bribes and kickbacks to help a businessman on Long Island. For Mr. Mangano, the scandal was the end of a long political career.
And now, apparently, the end to his freedom for a while. Long Island reporter Kristen Thorne, live at the courthouse in Central Iceland. Kristen.
Bill and Sandra, I have to tell you, it's been quite a few years since I've seen Ed Mangano in person, and I did not recognize him in the courtroom. He is thin, aged, really a shadow of his former self. Both himself and his wife addressed the judge before they were sentenced, and it really was a flood of emotion. They say after nearly 7 years of going through these trials, they just wanted to get all of this out to the judge, which they did, but they did not take any blame for what they did, and that did not go over well with the judge. Do you take responsibility? That was the judge's
I
big
keep
thing.
faith, and I'm always take responsibility for my actions. Believe I'm innocent.
So that is Edward Mangano. He's the former Nassau County executive, the highest elected official in Nassau County, and he is being sentenced to 12 years in federal prison for corruption charges. Do you think that it was only Mr. Mangano who was involved in corruption, or was he just the fall guy? Now, did you see how those news reporters were all up in, really, you know how everybody says that I put my camera in people's faces? I don't. That was putting your camera in someone's face. And do you see how aggressive the mainstream media can be? I wanted to point this out. And if I did that, I would be charged with disorderly conduct. It's just as simple as that. So let's hear the rest of this, only a couple minutes long.
Mangano says today was a terrible and painful day for himself and his family. He found out today that in June he'll have to report to prison, where he will spend the next 12 years of his life.
We're disappointed with the sentence, and now we move on to the appeal.
In 2019, after 2 trials, a jury found the former Nassau County executive guilty of accepting gifts, vacations, and a 6-figure no-show job for his wife from local restaurateur Harendra Singh.
A 6-figure no-show job for his wife. The highest level elected official in Nassau County, the county that I am currently facing charges in.
In exchange, Mangano pressured officials in the town of Oyster Bay to give Singh millions of dollars in loans. The judge told Mangano before sentencing him, democracy is a precious thing, and crimes like yours strike at its heart.
100% I agree with the judge here. Democracy is a precious thing, and crimes like yours strike at its heart. Just like the crimes that have been leveled against me, being prosecuted for simply asking questions of a corrupt government. There's no way to put it. A corrupt government who forcibly take taxpayer dollars, and you're going to see spend over $165 million in taxes on lawsuit settlements.
Mangano did not attend the sentencing of his wife, nor was she at his. A jury found Linda Mangano guilty of lying to FBI agents about her no-show job. She cried and begged the judge only to sentence her to community service, but the judge said she had to send a message that lying to the FBI and obstructing an investigation is a serious crime. She sentenced her to 15 months in prison.
Linda's maintained her innocence from the beginning, and as you can see, the system reacts with a vengeance when you do that. So let it be a lesson to everyone.
I want to assure the public that their faith in government and our criminal justice system is not misplaced. The disgraceful and greedy conduct of the Manganos has been exposed, and they've been punished.
Both of the Manganos are vowing to appeal their sentences, but as of now, Ed Mangano will have to report to prison June 13th, Linda Mangano June 27th. Their first grandchild is due to arrive in August.
All right, listen, I want to make it clear. I'm not promoting anyone. The U.S. Attorney's Office, they said that now they're doing this so that way the American people could have confidence in the criminal justice system. I'm not promoting the U.S. Attorney's Office or the FBI because they are also corrupt organizations and very politicized. And that's not a controversial statement. It's pretty much fact. At the end of the day, where is the FBI in all of the cases that I've been unlawfully arrested? I have never been criminally convicted of any of these crimes that I've been charged with for simply exercising my First Amendment right of freedom of press. Where has the FBI been this entire time? They have a whole corruption division. They receive millions of dollars in taxpayer money to investigate corruption, civil rights violations. But when it comes to head honcho political figures who are super corrupt, they'll do something about it. But to protect freedom of press from a journalist, they're nowhere to be found, right? So right here, just to remind everybody, my next court date in Nassau County is on September 19th of this month. So that would be my arraignment. We already went over this. So let's look at this. This is the next article I wanted to share with each and every one of you. As I've been uncovering more and more about the Nassau County government and Suffolk County government, for those who don't know, I am a Suffolk County resident. That's where I reside my entire life, hence the name Long Island Audit. But this news article right here, police misconduct lawsuits have cost Long Island taxpayers, that's me, and I'm sure there are a bunch of Long Island taxpayers who are watching this video, and if they aren't, and you know one, make sure you share this with them so they understand what's going on here, because I'm sure most of the residents here in Nassau and Suffolk County don't know this information. Police misconduct lawsuits have cost Long Island taxpayers $165 million since 2000, report says. $165 million since the year 2000. That is a lot of money. A whole lot of money. Right here, we have Keith Bush spent 33 years in prison before being exonerated in 2019. A settlement cost Suffolk County taxpayers $16 million. An analysis by Newsday calculates that the police misconduct claims have cost Long Island taxpayers $165 million over the last 20 years. The investigation looked at lawsuits filed since 2000 against Long Island's two largest county police departments and the scores of smaller departments on the island. According to the report, the amount of municipalities paid out increased sharply in the last 10 years. Between 2000 and 2010, departments paid $21 million in judgments. That number increased to $104 million between 2011 and 2013. A major driver to the cost were wrongful convictions that where multiple people spent years in prison for crimes they didn't commit. Suffolk County Executive Steve Ballone called the $165 million payments a corruption tax. Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman, who is the current county executive, called the lawsuits anomalies. Anomalies. This is not bode well for us, ladies and gentlemen. We are being prosecuted in Nassau County, and this is the old Nassau County executive is in federal prison for corruption charges. The new one is calling $165 million in payments anomalies. You can't make this up. Anomalies, really. And I was surprised by the high cost. Long Island's police unions have not responded with analysis. Of course they did not. So if we go, let's put this $165 million into perspective, because Nassau and Suffolk County are one of the highest paid police departments in the country. These are things that we need to talk about and acknowledge. Nassau County opened payroll. So for payroll summary for the year 2022, their entire payroll was $950 million. This is from 1 year, the year of 2022. Now, this is where it gets very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. You could see here the highest payroll by department, $505.5 million went to the Nassau County Police Department. Over 53% of the total end of the year payroll budget went to the Nassau County Police Department. Number 2 is the Correctional Center. Number 3 is Social Services. Number 4 is District Attorney. Number 5 is Public Works. I think the Public Works should be number 1. Social Services number 2. You can switch those around, but those should be up there. And then the District Attorney, because they actually went to law school, they probably know the law better than police officers. I don't think anybody would argue the difference there. And then correctional officers. Again, just based on these top 5 departments, these orders need to be reversed. This shows you the level of corruption. Number 1, $505 million. And in 2021 or 2020, a Nassau County police officer was paid $740,000. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up, ladies and gentlemen. $505 million a year. Nassau County is one of the safest counties. There's no crime here. This is not like New York City where you need a bunch of officers patrolling the streets at all times. That's not what's going on in Nassau County. Nassau and Suffolk, very suburbs. You don't see officers walking around anywhere. We have one of the lowest crime rates, and they're getting paid an exorbitant amount of money. If that's not corruption, $740,000 for a law enforcement officer, if that's not corruption, I don't know what to tell you. We need to open our eyes here. The corruption is where the money goes. So if we go down here, show the chart, look at this. Look at this top chart here for police department and correctional officers. Look at that. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing how much money these individuals in the police department, correctional officers are taking from the overall budget here on Long Island and the district attorney's office? Look at the health department. Look at all this compared. Look at the fire commission. I consider firemen to be more heroes than law enforcement officers. I mean, like I said, like I've always said, a hero is proven, right? A hero is earned. That's a title that's earned. But now Suffolk County, which is my county, is no better. If you go down here, look at the highest paid Suffolk County employees for the year 2020. The highest paid. You have number 1, Thomas McDermott, police sergeant, $428,000. I know you guys can't really see that. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can all see this better. Right here, police sergeant, the number 1 paid public servant in my county, Suffolk County, New York, is a police sergeant getting paid $428,000 a year. Police officer, not even a supervisor, is the number 2. Again, these are out of all the public service jobs in the county. Is number 2 with $355,000. A detective is $267,000. Chief inspector is number 4 at $262,000. Chief of division, also law enforcement, $255,000. Chief of division. How many chief of divisions do we need? $255,000. Chief of division, $255,000. And then number 8. Number 8 is the chief medical examiner, a doctor. Let that sink into everybody. There are, out of the 10 highest paid public servants, the doctor, the one who spent 10 years at least in higher education learning, the doctor is number 8 on the list compared to chiefs of division, a police officer, and a detective. And that's in Suffolk County. I mean, the story writes itself. The story of corruption writes itself, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's going on here. This is what I'm going up against here in Long Island. So I'm letting you all know this so you understand the levels. There's levels of corruption. And over here, the political atmosphere, the level of corruption here is outstanding. I don't know if it's blowing your mind, but it's blowing my mind. And look, this just happened. This is another article I want to share with all of you. This is from earlier this year. 2 Nassau County, again, I was arrested unlawfully in Nassau County, ladies and gentlemen. 2 Nassau County detectives are being investigated for misconduct. Look what they did. 2 Nassau County police detectives are under investigation after a federal judge found they unconstitutionally, sound familiar? Violating constitutional rights, strip searched a Cambria Heights man in public, then lied about it on the witness stand. So not only are they violating people's rights, they're lying about it under oath. A district attorney spokesperson and lawyer close to the case confirmed. Both the New York Attorney General, and the Nassau County District Attorney's Office are investigating detectives Robert Galgano and Daniel Kokanen. This is one of the first investigations conducted by the Attorney General's new police misconduct office. Oh, so there's a police misconduct office. Maybe I'll go to the Attorney General's office there and see if we can talk with somebody there and bring our case to light. If either investigation finds detectives broke the law, they could bring criminal charges against them. Not going to happen. We know how this story ends. We've investigated ourselves, found no wrongdoing. Or by the time the investigation is complete, they resign, they retire with their 401k, with their pension funded by the taxpayers. We know how this story ends, ladies and gentlemen, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that there's rarely ever any accountability. Rarely. The Nassau County Police Department disputed the investigation claims without providing any support. Oh yeah, this isn't true. Have any evidence? No, just not true. It's inaccurate and I can't go further into it, a spokesperson, Richard LeBrun, said. The alleged misconduct is connected to an arrest in 2018. Galgano and Kokanen made a traffic stop, later testifying that they suspected the driver of hiding drugs. James Jenkins, who was a passenger in the vehicle, was told to undress and lay naked on the street while officers searched his private parts, according to court testimony. No drugs were ever found, according to the record submitted to the court during a civil lawsuit claiming false arrest and excessive force. In police reports and in court, Galgano and Kokanen said that they searched Jenkins with his consent for their own safety. The judge ruled these statements farcical and took exceptionally rare step of fining the detectives personally for a total of $30,000. So the judge found their statements in court farcical and took an exceptionally rare step by fining them $30,000. Good on that judge. That's some sort of accountability there. An attorney for Jenkins said the Attorney General's Office Law Enforcement Misconduct Investigation Office contacted them and asked for various records. They were both examining the incident and the strip search and the trial, during which officers who were involved in the strip search testified falsely. A spokesman for the Attorney General's Office declined to comment. Nassau County Police Detectives Association did not respond to multiple messages. Of course, the unions have nothing to say about their officers engaging in misconduct, violating people's rights. It's just, no comment. In 2022, Galgano earned $171,000 and Kokanen earned $163,000. Both were promoted to detectives. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Listen closely. Both were promoted to detectives after Jenkins' strip search and shortly before trial. You cannot make this up. Galgano and Kokanen were officers of, what do you know, the New York City Police Department before joining the Nassau Police Department. Again, they just shuffle around to different departments. Galgano had 10 unsubstantiated misconduct complaints stemming from 2 incidents. He resigned before the second incident can be investigated. In October, the Gothamist reported that Nassau police discovered 0 founded civilian complaints for false arrest and excessive force. I plan on going to the Nassau County Internal Affairs Division to file a complaint. That's part of the process. But this is what we're running into. This is what we're going to deal with when we do that. And they're investigating themselves of wrongdoing. Nassau County Police discovered 0 founded civilian complaints for false arrest and excessive force over the last 6 years, even though the county settled dozens of lawsuits that involved allegations of those offenses. This disconnect alarmed police experts and police reform advocates. A month later, Nassau Police Commissioner Patrick Ryder said 9 officers had been forced to resign, retire, or were terminated in 2022 because of their behavior, even though there had been no founded civilian complaints. Where's the transparency and accountability, ladies and gentlemen? Ryder told lawmakers that the 9 officers who were asked to leave was a record for the department. He added that the Attorney General said that 2 of the internal affairs punishments he imposed were insufficient. If the AG doesn't like it, the AG overrides it and comes down with a stricter penalty, he said. Nassau County Police Department has long shielded itself from scrutiny, going so far as to block news organizations. Sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen? Listen closely. Going so far as to block news organizations, civil rights groups, and even county judges and prosecutors from obtaining disciplinary records. One of the 8 investigation referrals from the Attorney General's Police Misconduct Office has closed so far. Nassau was the subject of 5 of them. So of the 8 investigation referrals the Attorney General's Police Misconduct Office has closed so far, Nassau was the subject of 5 of them. Police reform advocates said that they are glad the Attorney General is taking a proactive role investigating internal accountability and disciplinary processes in Nassau. The Nassau County Police Department has a pattern and culture of fostering secrecy, which is actually on full display in this case, said Susan Gothner, director of the Nassau's New York City Civil Liberties Union chapter. False testimony and perjury by the police undermines the need to hold law enforcement accountable, and it raises the likelihood that innocent people end in jail. Innocent people just like myself that spent 6 hours in a jail cell in Nassau County. This is nothing new, ladies and gentlemen. I knew the minute I started digging, I would find this type of pattern of practice and behavior that Nassau County as a whole is engaging in. If you've seen my last 3 videos, the live stream, the Nassau County government building recently, which was insane. I was called an asshole by public safety officers. I was treated horribly, unprofessionally. People ran away from assisting me. The sergeant, again, had no idea about my constitutional rights. The same sergeant who put me in a jail cell 2 days prior. This is what we're dealing with here. And I wanted to make this video. I know this is not the most, shocking video, or at least there's no video, right, to watch here to really understand what's going on. But I wanted to read to you what I found, because I think it's so important. I think it's so important that we, the people, uncover this kinds of corruption and expose them for it. That's what we need to take place here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see here. And I appreciate all of your support. I know a lot of you have reached out to me, have reached out to your elected officials here in Nassau County, a lot of residents from Nassau County. I'm waiting to see what the district attorney here, we have her pulled up right here. I'm waiting to see what the district attorney plans on doing. I do have an attorney representing me, Jacob Uriel, the same attorney that's representing me against the charges I have unlawfully pending against me at the NYPD in Brooklyn. So that actually is coming up this month as well. So stay tuned to the channel for those updates. But I'm hoping that the district attorney, Ann Donnelly, understands that this is an injustice and she declines to prosecute. She uses her discretion to decline to prosecute here the charge against me of criminal trespass. Hopefully she does. I mean, I can't force anybody to do the right thing. Obviously, there's a lot of corruption here in Nassau County. I just read it to all of you. Please like and share this video so we can expose them to the world. I appreciate all 4,000 of you in here. Please take the second to hit the like button. It really helps, push this video out to more members of We the People, so that way we can expose these criminals. Look, this is hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars going to a police department and correctional facility in one of the safest counties. There's no crime in this county. In Nassau County, I think it's number 6 on the top, and it's not, I'm telling you, it's not because they're paying $500 million to police departments. I guarantee you that. It's because they got a corrupt union who, is working with the government to take as much taxes as possible. Suffolk County and Nassau County residents, enough is enough. We the people anywhere. Go look up what your law enforcement are making. Go look. This is corruption. No law enforcement officer should be getting paid $480,000 or $740,000. The president of the United States makes $400,000, ladies and gentlemen. Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. It's shameful. It is shameful. Let me take a look at some of this of these chats here. Again, I brought this information to each and every one of you. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I wanted to bring this information to each and every one of you so you understand the level of corruption that I'm dealing with here in Nassau County and Suffolk County here on Long Island. I will say that Suffolk County, they started off rough in the beginning of my auditing, but they have adapted and they respect my rights now. Everywhere I go in Suffolk County, my rights are never violated. Even at the Department of Social Services, I was arrested in Nassau County Department of Social Services, and I wasn't in Suffolk County. So I have to highlight, change where I see it. So we have seen some change here in Suffolk County. I was able to, because they let me inside the Department of Social Services in Suffolk County, I was able to donate lawsuit money to people in need because people aren't being helped. I am going to bring people onto this channel that are dealing with the Nassau County government and bring them on here to tell their story so you can hear the people's story. You can hear why I went to that social services that day to gather content and exercise my First Amendment right. You can hear it for yourself. There's FOIL requests, Freedom of Information law here in New York State that are being processed right now. So stay tuned. Body camera footage, documentation. Stay tuned to the channel. So let me read some of the chats here. If you sent a super chat earlier, I must have missed it, but thank you. I can't see them anymore. Thank you so much. There's a lot of corruption. I don't think there's not that much. I lost that one. Sorry. Keep up the excellent work. Thank you. Corruption starts at the top and rolls down from there. I agree. If you've seen any one of these videos, you'll understand that that's exactly what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely, Sean. It's regular folks getting screwed over and over and over and over. Correct. Do they ask us permission? You know, they always say, did you get permission to film here? Did you get permission to record? Permission from who? Did you get permission to take away my taxpayer money? To take away my money through taxes, property taxes, sales tax, income tax? Did you get permission? Because I didn't give it to you. So anyway, guys, listen. Yeah, he's definitely the fall guy, the Mangano guy. Again, we're dealing levels of corruption that I've never seen before. That's just scratching the surface, ladies and gentlemen. There was also a cover-up of a cover-up between the Suffolk County Police Department and the Nassau County Police Department, which I covered. You know, take a look at that. I'll link that in the description. Maybe I'll do another video on it because it's really pertinent right now. William Berry, thank you for the super chat. I truly appreciate you. Yes, hit the like button. Thank you. Government for sale cheap. Exactly. When you start seeing these numbers, and I was talking about it with, you know, some of my friends and everything, once you start seeing these hundreds of thousands of dollars, 400,000, 700,000, and hundreds of millions of dollars going to these agencies, it's like, how are they getting away with this? How are they getting away with this clear corruption and embezzlement? No public servant should be getting paid that much money and that much money. It doesn't make any sense. The president gets paid 400,000. Judges, people who worked really hard to study the law, but officers are getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, almost $1 million. Ridiculous. Richie Richards, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I am looking into going to Hawaii. I am looking to going to Maui. For everybody that's mentioned that, I am looking into it. I see your emails and I see your comments. Just been really busy for me lately, but it's just crazy. 165 million. Remember that. Just remember 165 million dollars, ladies and gentlemen, has been stolen from us, being paid out. The county executive of my county called it a corruption tax. I agree. But Nassau County's Nassau County Executive Blakeman called it an anomaly. $165 million anomaly. Ridiculous. All right. I don't want to make this too long. Let me know what you think about this one in the comment section below. As always, stay safe. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Long Island Audit. Peace.